Okay. So can you all hear me well, and can you see the PowerPoint on the screen? Christine, is that okay right now? Yes, no? Can you just confirm that you can all hear me?
On t'entend bien.
Okay. Okay, good. Then I'll start. Thanks for coming to the webinar today. Thank you for joining. We are very pleased to be able to present the MBA Chief Value Officer to you today. This is the first time that we are presenting it. And we hope you'll enjoy the presentation, and we'll be very happy to answer any questions you might have on the program. So I'll get started with the CVO MBA in a nutshell. It's the first time that an institution is offering a full degree to be able to transform the finance to multi-capitaux accounting. And we are very happy that we can offer this at Audencia. It is a program that is anchored in tomorrow's world, and the program is really to bring the finance profession on board to the new world with the Chief Value Officer concept and all the tools that we are going to be able to learn, to use and to strategize through this program. This program is also situated at Audencia. Audencia, I'll present in a minute, is a responsible business lead school, a member of the 30 PRME champion schools in the world. A PRME is a program that works on principles for responsible management education at the UN Global Compact. And Audencia has been for a very long time part of the 30 champions that lead the discussion on that topic worldwide. We, in this program, aim to offer a high-quality teaching and training with exceptional speakers and professors, both from the practice world as well as from the academic world. We are aiming at allowing you to benefit from experienced speakers and experienced professionals in that MBA. We are also aiming to build this MBA on concrete applications and real case studies from business organizations. So the teaching will happen through a flipped classroom, so that you can directly, when you are with the professor, with the speaker, actually create concrete content from the case studies and practical implementation that you can actually use when you go back to your own organizations. With this MBA, you will also get operational and managerial skills for the world of tomorrow, including the integrated and systematic vision, and I'll come back to that in a minute. And lastly, you'll be able to benefit from 2 international learning trips in the best business schools in the world, one at Ivy in Canada and one at Inca in Costa Rica. So what is Audencia's mission? Audencia is a business school based in France with campuses in Nantes, Paris, and China. Our mission is to educate and accompany innovators who create value through responsible action. This is exactly what we want to do with the Chief Value Officer MBA. And in collaboration with stakeholders, we produce and diffuse knowledge to transform teaching and inspire new business practices. So we are here with this MBA full in swing into Audencia's mission to prepare for tomorrow's world and to allow you to build the skills that are necessary for transforming and transitioning in terms of sustainability. And of course, after the crisis, this is even more needed. Just a few words about Audencia. Audencia is 120 years old, has about 135 full-time professors. We have campuses around the world and work very closely with companies, with a lot of research center. You will see at the end that the MBA is connected to a new research center as well. We have over 5,000 students and over 26,000 alumni, including from the MBA community, that you will also benefit from as your network if you join the MBA. And a few words about myself. I'm the academic director. My name is Delphine Gibassier. I'm an international expert in accounting for sustainable development. Have been in that field for about 18 years. I've worked very closely with multinationals and SMEs in setting up and implementing accounting for sustained development in practice. I also work quite closely with technical standard setters around the world and governments and institutions such as the UN Global Compact, the French government and the European Union on that topic, as well as, of course, work on research. I'm the associate editor of a scientific journal that publishes research which is linked to practice and policy making. So for whom is that MBA? We aim to open up that MBA Chief Value Officer to allow a number of managers to benefit from the teaching to transform what they are currently doing into their organization in using multi-capitaux accounting to lead the new business models. That includes CVU managers who want to acquire a competence in strategic measurement and the use of their different capitals, as well as directors and board members. On the other side, it's also for people who are in finance, whether they are CFOs, finance specialists, accountants, auditors, or internal auditors. And also, this program is also dedicated to bring CSR managers who want to acquire competence in accounting for sustainable development. The program in a nutshell. So applications open today. You might have already gone through the web page of the MBA Chief Value Officer that is available on our website in French and in English. Christine Guérin, who is on the line, you will see and be able to connect with her at the end, will be your first point of contact for this MBA for applications. The program starts March 2021 and will be located in Paris, but is mainly online. So it's a blended format with 65% online. It's part-time over 18 months, all in English, and the tuition is 38,500 euros. So what is a Chief Value Officer? Just putting here one definition around the term that we use and that has been coined by Mervyn King in his book with Jill Atkins in 2016. The CVO role is about all value creation and distractions and how they are accounted for and communicated to board, management, and external stakeholders. So it really brings that topic to the top level of the management of your organization. And to become a CVO, you will require deep knowledge and insights about your business to inform discussion on both the value, the strategy, the risk opportunities around your business model, the resources you're dependent and that you impact, and how you can lead the business to benefit from a better value creation process. Our objectives with this MBA, there's 6 objectives that we want to bring. The first is that we want to position the MBA applicants as key players in your organizations, and through this MBA you will be in the capacity to measure and communicate the value creation process of your organization. We also are leading applicants to think about integrated thinking, understand and anticipate the financial, environmental, and social applications of your decisions in the future. Most importantly is becoming a change navigator. Not only is this MBA about technicalities, we'll come in a minute to that, but most importantly is about how do you use it to embed this into your organization, allow this to support the evolution of your company's business model thanks to that multi-capitaux vision. Of course, master the methods and techniques of measurement, control, and reporting around the new capitals in the 6, and all of them together. And we have also the objectives of managing and optimizing the value creation process internationally. So this topic of value creation is culturally different if you look at it from the perspective of North America, or if you look at it in Europe, or if you look at it in Asia, for example. And therefore, we will also, within the teaching, allow you to understand those nuances and how it affects the way that you build value creation methods, and how you use the numbers and the narratives around the value creation process when you are working internationally. We will also go to the technologies, and I'll talk to that in minutes when I go to the program. And last but not least, the network. When you become an MBA student at Audencia, you also benefit from the professional network that you and personal network that you built through the alumni, the MBA community, and also the professors that you will meet during your time in the MBA Chief Value Officer. We target 2 types of skills, what we call technical skills and managerial skills. Through the MBA, you will be able to learn how to measure the multi-capitaux performance of your organization and become an expert in reporting and audit. But also, you will be able to master how to use it strategically and to link sustainable development with performance measurement. On the other side, what we think is really important is that you learn to think about an integrated and systemic vision, become a responsible leader, and acquire a long-term vision focused on multiple stakeholders, and to become a change navigator supporting business model and their transformation. The learning perspective there are 4. The sustainable development expert and business partner. You need to understand and to integrate the planetary boundaries, the sustainable goals, the systemic thinking around sustainability, but also become a key contributor to the strategy by measuring, controlling, and reporting the strategic capital. Forward-looking, understand and master the impact of technology on this multi-capitaux accounting, and have the international strategic and political vision of what those accounting methods mean. And last, become the architect and force for change, supporting the transition of your business model. The program is split into 4 sections. The first is the fundamentals of sustainable development, starting March 2021. The second is measurement, control, audit of integrated multi-capitaux performance. The 4th is responsible and transformational leadership. So that's when the strategic part of using what you've just done before becomes a reality. And the last part is contemporary and international dimensions. And to go into detail, you can see here that you have about 500 hours of teaching, 63 hours dedicated to the fundamentals of sustainable development, and you will have someone from the Stockholm Resilience Center coming to talk about system thinking and sustainability science. And then you have about 190 hours on measurement, control, and audit, and you'll get the specialist of those techniques coming to teach you. As I said, it's a flipped classroom teaching methods. Therefore, when you are with the professor or with the speaker, you will be actually doing case studies, real case studies from companies and real problems that they have faced when we are talking about external audit or materiality or control. This will be only learned through the case studies. We have 140 hours dedicated to transformational leadership, and eight of those days will be on the transformation journey, which is a whole course dedicated to bringing participants to understand how you use all those techniques to then bring transformational change within their business models. And last but not least, during the contemporary and international dimensions, you will learn about artificial intelligence, big data, blockchain, sustainable finance, and you will do the 2 learning expeditions to see social accounting and impact assessments during those days at INCAE and Ivy. A few words about the learning expeditions. We've decided to go in those 2 institutions for very good reasons. Canada Ivy is a really interesting school where sustainability is really done with practice, and you'll get to encounter a lot of practitioners through those days. And then INCAE, because they are also leading the way in social accounting through professors and a chair of research dedicated to sustainability. So in the learning expedition in Canada, you will be able to meet North American investors in Toronto. You will be able to discuss how diversity is accounted for. This is a really important topic today in America, and we'll be able to discuss that. And we'll be able to discuss how conservation is being introduced in finance through indigenous and sustainability accounting. When we go to INCAE, you will be able to meet impact investors working in South America. We have the chance also to meet people who did the first compensation with carbon to conserve their forest in Costa Rica. And we'll be able also to see some new tools that are being implemented and researched at INCAE on social accounting with multinational in Costa Rica. I'll let you to see the testimonies on the website. I'm sure you've been on the webpage already, where you can see a potential student saying that thanks to high quality professors, she'll be able to access the latest development. She's been in touch with us already. And you'll be able to see also testimonies from Bernard, founding president of Passion for Energy, who will teach during the MBA the green investment strategies and how to link innovation, accounting to the energy transition. He's the former R&D director of the French company Engie. And you also have a testimony of Julien Rivals, the co-managing partner of Deloitte Sustainability in France. And he talks about the market and how he is seeing the need and the growing and urgent need for companies to rethink the way that they measure and manage their performance, and therefore urges you to see the MBA as a response to that need. A few words about our partners. We are currently working with 6 different partners. 4 are on the slides and 2 are being discussed currently. We are partner with the ICAEW, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of England and Wales. They wanted to partner with us, and we wanted to partner with them because we think that this MBA is unique. It's the first time in the world that you can get a degree and 500 hours on this critical topic to get to the next level. Natural Capital Coalition is a partner to also help us on the education case study side, and we are partnering with 2 French professional organizations, the CNCC, representing the external auditors in France, and the IFACI, representing the internal auditors in France. And we'll discuss and we'll present further partners on the webpage in a few days, so just stay tuned, and you'll see that we are partnering with really great organizations that are helping us to build the case studies, the education, and the necessary high-level quality teaching that we want to bring you. And last but not least, the MBA Chief Value Officer is associated with an international research center at Audencia. Therefore, you will see that there's a really tight connection between the research being produced in that center and the MBA. For education, we will connect very tightly the case studies, the in-depth research that we do, so that you can get the most out of the production of this research chair. And most importantly, presenting Christine Guérin, the talent manager for this MBA. I'll leave that slide on. You've got her number and her email. Do not hesitate to get in contact with her if you want any more information. And I will open up the floor for questions. You can put your questions in the chat. And at the end, if there's a few minutes, do not hesitate to raise your voice and ask questions as well. Christine, was there any questions already or not yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. Maybe we should say a few words about how you can join the MBA. Do you want me to?
You can speak about that if you want.
And then we'll see if any questions are coming. So to join the MBA, the first thing you need to do is to get in contact with Christine. She will discuss with you via email or on the phone your profile and questions that you might have. If you're interested, she will guide you through the online application process. If needed, we can also do a preparation call with me. And then you'll go through the interview process, and we'll decide quite quickly after the interview whether you're a good fit and the MBA is a good fit for you, and you can get a decision within 7 days after the interview. And there, the questions are coming. How are the sessions organized in Paris? Okay. This is a very good question. When we discussed the MBA with the market, with the potential participants, there was a strong need to make this MBA compatible with people who are currently working. Clearly, this MBA, a lot of people who wanted to join and discuss with us are already CFOs, or directors or CBU managers, and said we want to be able to do this MBA while we continue to work and to be able to apply the teaching right away. So after discussions, we decided that the online part will be on Sunday, sometimes also Saturday, about 3.5 hours on Sunday afternoons. That's when from experience, we know that it's least problematic for people to join online teaching. And the weeks in Paris are organized so the first week in March will be in Paris. We want to create a cohort kind of group, and we want you to be able to meet each other. Then most of the teaching will take place online, and the other hours in presential hours are at the end of the first year and during the last 6 months when you joined with your fellow participants, the learning expedition in Canada and Costa Rica. And one of the main reasons why we still have 35% also is that you have the transformation journey, the 8 days, they are taking place in person, so that you can fully benefit from the program that was actually built to help you use the techniques, but transform your business models and your organization towards the new world. So mainly Sundays, sometimes Saturdays, 1 week at the beginning, 2 learning expeditions, and the transformation journey. That's mainly what's going to be presential. Can I ask a question about measuring capital values? Yes, you can. Do you want to?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So this is a really exciting program. This holy grail of how to measure the value of natural capital and human capital and social capital has been a quest for a lot of us for a long time. And you talked about integrated reporting, which requires you to have some sense of how to do all of that. You talked about integrated thinking, and you talked about science-based stuff, and my goodness, this sounds fantastic. So it sounds like you've been able to figure this out, that we actually have a way to assess the values of those things, and especially from year to year, see whether or not we are adding value or subtracting value from these vital capitals that we need. The financial capital, manufacturing capital, intellectual capital, that's a little easier to monetize and quantify, measure, all that kind of stuff. But human, social, and natural capital, it's been a sort of a black art. So it sounds like you've been able to figure that out. Can you say a little bit more about that? Or is there the way to do that you're going to be talking about, or an array of ways to do that, or what's the philosophy behind that?
That's a very good question. That's something we also had. We had a webinar in French a few minutes ago. We also had that question. The field of accounting for sustainable development or different capitals is much more recent than financial capital. We all know that, right? However, the decision to turn it into a program was also validated by discussion with, company members, EU members. We discussed with WBCSE and other partners. The reasons why we think it is a good time is we have enough knowledge about how to account, measure, not always monetize. That, some people also disagree with that. To be able to train.
I'm among those that also disagrees with that, so that's good.
So the reasons why we thought it was high time is we had enough knowledge and case studies, and more particularly, not just that, is that people were asking for it. We see people currently becoming CVOs. We see teams of sustainability accountants that they actually learn by themselves right now. They learn by doing. So it's high time we help the market with a program that will allow people to, in 18 months, learn and do at the same time. That's what but we know that we will need more research, and we know that the combination of the research chair, the research center, and the MBA together makes it possible to actually accompany. We also know that we will have to review the process and the program in the different years to make sure that it's always at the top level of what the knowledge is at the current time.
Thank you.
We have a question about the minimum criteria to join the MBA. So the minimum criteria, if I may say it that way, it's mainly based on your experience. This is more an executive MBA level, so we are requiring about 8 years of experience and 5 of management. I'm saying about because this is, of course, we'll see your profile to be able to speak English. But if you are on that webinar, I think this is not a no-brainer. And yes, to have a bachelor degree, I was thinking. And for the rest, we can discuss if you write to Christine, and if you have specificities within your own CV and resume, then we can talk about it as well. Happy to answer.
I put the details on the chat.
Yeah. And you can also check the MBA Chief Value Officer webpage for more details, but for sure we can discuss any particulars related to this. Yes, thanks.
You're welcome. And the access for the page on our website.
Yeah. I'm sure you have more questions. And you can also unmute yourself and just ask them if that's easier. You have one more question, Bob.
Yes, I was intrigued by the partnership that you have with the Accounting Association and the Auditing Association. Could you say a little bit more about that? Because accountants, frankly, have been a little bit behind the curve on how to actually figure out how to measure the value in the first place and find out whether you are adding or subtracting value. So it's exciting that they are engaged in this. Can you say a little bit more about the role that they're going to play?
I'm also excited that they are joining and that they are behind that. It's clearly something that probably would have not happened a few years ago. To have such, there's one more that is joining that I can't say the name yet because we are currently signing. But yeah, we'll have four organizations linked to accounting professions worldwide that will be joining. One from the US, one from the UK, two from France, and they are all thinking that this MBA is the program that is needed. And this is the discourse I've heard for about 18 months that we were not used to hear in the past. And I'm really glad. So the role they will play is that we are looking for how to bring the MBA closer to the Chartered Accountancy program. So we are in discussion. So this is really not just communication. This is also about how this can be combined with what they are doing currently. And it's clearly an offer that they don't have and that they want to offer to chartered accountants and CFOs, controllers that are currently asking for this. A lot of people that I discuss with for my research also tell me our members are looking for this MBA. They are looking for knowledge about it. They are knocking on the door and say, what are you doing for us on the non-financial side? And the answer is often not enough. So the MBA answers that the education part that they are currently not offering.
I totally agree. And the competency maps that are being used by accounting professions around the world as they train their members and certify them and charter them really are way behind on this whole topic. And it's great that you've engaged with them and may give them the courage and confidence to update those competency maps so that we legitimize this kind of measuring and managing as part of their mandate, and so that we can look to them for guidance on how to do this in an appropriate way, following appropriate standards and so on. So that's exciting. It's been like pushing a rope to try to get them engaged in this stuff. So if you've been able to do that, that's fantastic.
I think it's also just the right time. It's not just me on my own, but it's the right time.
That's life.
Is there any more questions you would want us to answer on the MBA, on the content, on how to enter, how is it going to process? No? Maybe what we can say then is thank you very much for joining. And we are very happy if you connect with us for further information, and happy to have any one-on-one conversation that is needed for the future. Thank you.